Welcome to Meltdown Mondays with Six Figure Ash, where life be lifing, but we don't fold. Get your coffee, get your blunt, and let's go.
Welcome to Meltdown Mondays, where we take last week's mess and turn it into this week's motivation. I'm Six Figure Ash. Let me spill my gut. Y'all, today we recording from Long Beach, California. Yo, I'm getting ready to go on a cruise, but I gotta make sure I do my Meltdown Monday. This week's mess is the follow-up from last week's. I was trying to shut the fuck up, and I did shut the fuck up. And now we gotta put it all together. We gotta make it make sense now. So story time. So I'm at church last Sunday. I'm being a good praising lady, doing all what I do. And I noticed this little boy, his mom wasn't paying him much attention. And he was just doing the most. So a part of me just was like, I'm over here about ready to tap him myself like, hey, sit down, stop doing stuff, stop moving. But I didn't, I kept it to myself, but I did give him that little look like, sit your down. I gave him one of them looks, and he sat down. But he still was doing a little too much for my liking. But of his mom and being whatever zone or whatever she was going through, he was taking advantage of it. I noticed that shit. But I wanted to say something on it, but I didn't say something on it. That's me shutting the fuck up, because that shit ain't my business. That's their business. All right, so last week we talked about shutting the fuck up when it's time to shut the fuck up. This week we gotta talk about discipline. We gotta implement the stuff that we're talking about. We can't just talk. And y'all know my go-to people. We gonna go back to ChatGPT, okay? I was trying to figure out how can I not only understand what it means to be disciplined, but implement the discipline. Figure that out. So I went back to the drawing board. So not only am I shutting the fuck up, I'm also going to keep shutting up because I want to incorporate discipline into my lifestyle, into who I am. ChatGPT came in great handy because guess what they told me? This is the prompt, okay? Please act as an expert and give me reasons why and how to implement discipline. Give me reasons why to be disciplined and ways to implement discipline. Because not only do I want to melt down what we're talking about, but I also want to build you back up in order to go into the next week. We got to be able to implement the things that we talk about. So what discipline really is. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done. So not only are you willing to do it, but you're actually going to do it. In order to think of it in a more positive way and make sure that we have something to actually be able to successfully implement into our lives, it says about punishing yourself or being robotic. It's about choosing long-term benefit over short-term comfort. And that's what most people do. They don't want to be disciplined in something because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to do this every day for 30 days. So the essence of discipline comes from self-control, consistency, integrity within yourself, and focus on process, not emotion. So it's like the essence of discipline and understanding really is. In order to improve something, you got to understand it. So in order for us to understand it, I'm going to define it first. So y'all know I'm always here to give you real ways and real steps to put something into play. So we know what discipline is. Now we have to implement it. So this week's build-up is learning how to implement discipline, okay? Now, let's not think that we just going to be these straight disciplined people doing just like I want to shut the fuck up, like I'm always going to shut the fuck up, like I'm going to be perfect at it now because I know what it is. No, but if I become disciplined in shutting the fuck up, then I can shut the fuck up even more. Start with why. Discipline dies without purpose. That's it. That's it right there. Discipline dies without purpose. Think about that. Your discipline, you will stop doing certain things if you ain't got no purpose behind it. So always start with your why. I fucks with that. Discipline dies without purpose. So the next thing it says, create systems, not reliance on motivation. Y'all, so many people rely on just self-motivation to get things done, but you really got to build a system. I'm a systematic person. I got to build a system in order for things to work correctly continuously. Motivation is unreliable. Your self-motivation, it can work, it does work, it will work, but at the same time, it can die out. That can be unreliable, especially if you sometimes feel a certain type of way and then decide not to do something. Motivation is unreliable. Systems make success automatic with discipline. And that's the only way that I can stay disciplined is if I do it every week, same day, I ain't gonna say the same time, but same day every week, because it helps me become disciplined in what I'm doing because it created a system. I have a system now. I record, I edit, I post. Period. That's my system I've become disciplined in, and guess what, y'all? It works. It works so good. It works so well, and I'm so proud of it. Discipline starts from a small token. Be disciplined enough to keep doing it and keep going. So yes, I fucks with that one too. Discipline grows through small victories. I fucks with that. Smaller steps to get to where you want to be. Everybody want to jump from A to Z, knowing that you got to go through B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and all the rest of the alphabet. We got to go through things, okay? So in order to be disciplined, you got to take the small steps. And you got to be victorious in it. You got to be happy about the small steps that you're taking. Remove temptations. Don't rely on willpower. It's limited. So just like your motivation is unreliable, your willpower is limited. You are only so strong. You can only hold on for so long until you want to give in to temptation. In order to not give into temptations, you got to remove temptations sometimes. I can't do better on my eating habits if I still got Snickers and candy and shit that I'm not supposed to eat lying around. Ooh, utilize accountability. Hold yourself accountable. You got to hold yourself accountable. Accountability is A1 top dog in discipline. You got to make sure that you hold yourself accountable if you fuck up. Get back to it, but hold yourself accountable for whatever you did to make yourself not do what you were supposed to do and stay in discipline. Last thing that I'm gonna say is reward progress. You can reward yourself for the good things that you do. So we got it. This week's build-up is, in order for us to implement discipline, we had to understand discipline. We got a good understanding of what it is. Now we got to implement. In order to implement it, you got to make sure you do the things that you need to do in order to keep it rolling. Go through these steps of discipline, okay? Have your why. Create your system. Start small. Remove temptations and use accountability. That we got to implement that, y'all. We got to implement our discipline, and let's go into this next week strong. I thank you so much for being here. Y'all always got to find a better way to end my videos, but I'm going to just tell you, thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you meet me back here next Monday for Meltdown Monday. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Let me give y'all a quick prayer, because y'all know I always want to pray for everybody. Okay? I thank you for everybody being on this channel. I pray that you please allow me to utilize my words and help other people build discipline and implement discipline and do better in life on an everyday basis. If you affirm that, make sure that you type an amen in the comments. Make sure that you meet me back here next Monday. And don't ever forget, follow me for more.